Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a new video, and today we will be having episode 2 of a series where we'll take an in-depth look at the Eurovision 2020 songs that should have been competing, but unfortunately circumstances happened and they don't. The randomizer picked a nice little order and we had Ukraine in episode 1, and episode 2 will be Moldova. Yes, Natalia Gordienko would have brought the song Prison. Let's talk about it. Now, firstly, for the people that don't know, Natalia Gordienko is actually a returning artist. I didn't know this at first either, but she actually competed in 2006 in Athena with her song Loca. She didn't end up doing too well. She was already pre-qualified for the final because the old system had like the top 10 of like the previous year already qualified for the final. So she didn't have to qualify, but she didn't end up doing too well in the final and got like 22nd. So yeah, that is where you may know her from already. Then she had a bit of like a break maybe, and she decided to return this year into the national selection O Melodii pentru Europa with her song Prison. Prison, it can be interpreted a bit in a few different ways. It can be about relationships that where you're a bit conflicted in your head, whether you want to keep going with it or not. And you could even pull it an extra mile, saying that it could be about an abusive relationship too. But that is up for interpretation, I guess. But talking about interpretation and lyrics, let's move on to segment 2. Like I said, you can interpret these lyrics in a few different ways. It can be the struggle within your own head about your relationship or liking someone and you kind of want to fall in love with that person or you kind of really don't. It's a bit of a battle inside your head, but you could also pull it a bit further and say it could be about an abusive relationship. I chose like the pre-chorus and the chorus to read out for you, so let's go. I don't want to be with you. I don't want to be without you. I don't want to be with you. I don't want to be without you. Prison. I can't escape from this prison. Love is a fool's prison. I think they're quite good. Like they're okay. I hate how they use or abuse maybe even I don't wanna in this song. It's a bit too much. In total, there are 16 sentences that have I don't wanna in it. And it's not only the I don't want to be with you, I don't want to be without you. I think that is quite a cool little touch where you really emphasize on the internal struggle, like do I want to continue with this or do I not? Do I want to continue with this or do I not? I think that's quite cool. And the chorus itself, maybe shouting prison out of nowhere is a bit random. I guess it's okay. It's not the best lyrically, but it's also definitely not the worst because it is something that you could really feel personal about and you could really have a good personal connection with it. Is that a connection for me? Not necessarily, but it is definitely commendable that it is like quite good, I would say. Now, the next segment is where we talk about a few of the details of the song, and to me this one was quite difficult to find any. I think overall the song is a bit weird in the sense that it tries to be a lot of things in the same time but never really gives those moments its chance to shine. It starts off as quite a good and promising ballad where you think, oh, this could go like your standard Eurovision ballad that would do quite well in the contest. But then it changes in a way where like the chorus is so overshadowed by the beat a bit and by all the instruments and elements in it. And then you have another bit of contrast where you have like this little silent moment where one voice starts and then the next goes over it, and when the next goes over that, and when the next goes over it. That is to me the lovely detail in the song. Is it a detail? Maybe not necessarily, but I guess that's what I'm picking for this. And then after that, if you didn't think it was already kind of Frankenstein-y enough, they also make it nearly like a techno club banger with like the doom 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 doom. The thing is, all those little like experiments that I would like to call them in this song just last a bit too short. I think none of them actually get the time and attention they need to give this song an identity. So I guess the identity of this song is that it is a bit of an identity crisis. I guess it kind of mixes with the message of the song, but is it really something that you're looking for in a contest? I don't know. It is time for the final segment of the episode, and we're gonna give the scores. So like I said, I have 4 categories that can all gain 5 stars for a certain song that ends up at a total of 20 maximum. It being the lyrics, it being the quality of the song, how well it's produced, how well it's structured, it being the placement within the contest, and it being the personal preference of mine, which is also, you know, a factor that I needed to calculate into it, right? Right. So let's go for Moldova today. Like I said, lyrically, I had a whole talk about it already. I think it's good that you can interpret it for yourself. I always like it when songs or things do that, when you can just really give it your own meaning, and if you really connect to it, that's really, really lovely. What I don't like is the repetitiveness of the I don't wanna. It just drags down the entire composition of the lyrics by a lot. I still think they're great, so I'm gonna give it 3.5 stars on the lyrics department. The next segment is the production quality, and I've said some things about this already. It's kind of a Frankenstein song that doesn't really succeed in it. I think individually certain aspects of the song are produced quite well and do sound quite good, but it just isn't a coherent piece. It just isn't a well-produced, coherent song. And in the chorus, I think the instruments overshadow the voice way too much. The instruments don't make sense necessarily, and there's a lot left to be desired, and I think they tried to experiment a bit too much here. So I'm only going to give it 1.5 stars because there is definitely some quality to it, just not a coherent quality. Up next, we have the placement in a contest. Like I said, I think this would like duel it out for qualification in semifinal 2. So it's not the worst at all, but I would say semifinal 2 is a little less strong than semifinal 1 maybe. So I guess when you're in for qualification, I would give you a 2.5, something like that. I would say this semifinal is a little less strong, and I don't think I would feel very passionate putting money on this song to go to the final. Staging wise, there's a lot of potential, but I've given this 2 stars in the where does it fit in the contest. Then on to personal preference. Yes, this is kind of the song that I don't necessarily enjoy listening to. I like myself a way more coherent piece, and the tone of her voice is not necessarily my thing. The tone of the instruments in the choruses is not necessarily my thing, and it's usually a skip for me, unfortunately. So that only gives 1 star for the personal preference. That gives a grand total of, unfortunately, only 8 points. Now, that was it for Moldova. Unfortunately, it didn't necessarily rank the highest. I think everything I said is justified. If you enjoy the song, that's completely fine. It definitely has a personal message to it and a personal interpretation to it that you could really feel passionate about. So I can definitely see this being high in the rankings for some people. It's not for me. It's maybe one of the weaker songs this year, unfortunately. But hey, if you like the video, give this video a thumbs up. Let me know what you think about Moldovan song this year and what you think it would do in the contest maybe. Share this with friends and make sure to subscribe to my channel because we need subscribers, right? Yes, definitely. I'll move on to the next song and I guess I'll see you there. Goodbye.